G'day everyone, today we are looking at a trio of TTI pruners. Now what do I mean by TTI pruners? Well, if you're not aware, these three brands, Ryobi, AEG, Milwaukee, if you're in North America this will say Ridgid, exactly the same tools, made in the same place, different name, different regions of the world. These three companies are all owned by TTI Industries, which is short for Tektronix Industries, which is based in Hong Kong. So if you've ever looked at these three brands and thought, hang on a minute, they look the same, not these particular tools, but if you've ever looked and thought, hey, that AEG looks exactly like the Ryobi, that Milwaukee looks exactly like the Ridgid, well, that's because they all share the same sort of things, because they're all the same company. Milwaukee will usually bully the other ones and say, hey, no, we want to have something that's different to the other ones so that, you know, it feels like a more premium product. Sometimes that is the case and sometimes they look very, very similar indeed. Anywho, basically this is the Milwaukee 12 volt pruner, the AEG 18 volt and the Ryobi 18 volt. There are several Ryobi ones and this is the cheapest one. I'll explain why in a moment. If you've got a problem with the batteries being different, as in 18 volt, 12 volt, well then complain about it down below if you want to make yourself look stupid. They're all 5 amp hours that I'm going to be using in this video for testing. And full disclosure, the Milwaukee and the AEG were sent to me for free from these two companies, and I went out and bought the Ryobi just so we could complete the set. Now I bought the cheapest Ryobi. Like I say, there are several different versions. This is the cheapest Ryobi. The cost of this with a 2 amp hour battery and a charger was less than the cost of either of these batteries. So if budget is your number one concern, well, the Ryobi is the one for you. Pretty much on every tool you're ever going to find, this is a budget option, this is a mid-range option, this is the professional option. But it doesn't stand up very well, as you can see. Pretty sure that's also the heaviest option. Definitely with these, I will weigh them in just one moment. In fact, why don't we weigh them right now? Now I would usually weigh tools without the batteries on them, but seeing as we've got different voltages here, the batteries on these are heavier, so if we weigh the tools alone, it'll make the Milwaukee look heavier than it actually is because the battery is much smaller. So let's go Ryobi. I will say the numbers in metric and they will be on the screen here in Yankee Doodle. So 1500 exactly, 1.5 kgs for the Ryobi. The AEG I can already feel significantly heavier. 1693, nearly 200 grams heavier, and the Milwaukee, we'll probably have to lay her down because she's a bit awkward, 1720. Like I suspected, it's a much heavier tool and it's got the lightest battery, so there's just a heap of weight in this thing. It is very, very heavy, and surprisingly enough, when this came out, Milwaukee said it was the lightest in its class. I don't know how on earth they claimed that, because what they classify as class, I don't know, because it's the heaviest one I've ever used of any battery platform. And if we're talking about just 12 volt ones, then the Makita one is significantly lighter, significantly, like half the weight. So yeah, don't believe marketing. Now there are some differences between these tools. These two are quite basic compared to this one. This one has a control panel that the other two do not. I will talk about that as we do some cuts. I've got a tree out the back I need to prune because we've had some bad weather, the ground's soft, it's starting to fall over. I need to hack some stuff off it to remove some weight. So I'm going to go out and do that right now. Let's get in a bit closer here and just see how much these things can cut. So the Ryobi, this is probably the absolute maximum that this thing is gonna get. Yeah, couldn't quite cope with that. Get there with a few goes, never gonna get through that bit. So let's try the AEG. Oh, struggled as well, but it did get there. Several goes and we got there in the end. What about the Milwaukee? Similar size to the AEG. Let's go. No. 2 goes. You don't have to let it come right back each time it jams, and you can just sort of half let it off, and then go again. So quite a good amount of power from the little 12 volt here. Although, judging by the red flashing lights, it's not liking it very much. The Ryobi cuts through those thicker ones quite nice, but as you can see, boy oh boy, she's pretty slow. AEG, considerably quicker. Milwaukee, similar speed to the AEG. Comfort and speed, got to be the AEG, I reckon. Thing I can do with the Milwaukee that I can't do with the others is this. I just find the Milwaukee is heavy and awkward and feels weird in the hand. But when compared to the Ryobi, it is much quicker. But this one, you can't hold in one spot. As soon as you actuate the trigger, it's gonna close. If you let go of it completely, it'll pop back, but you can't hold it like you can with the Milwaukee. Oh, so slow. Right, let's take it up a notch size-wise. Can we get through this? Oh. It's easy to cut through, but it's a little bit big on the diameter front. What about the Milwaukee? Can we cut any thicker with this? Oh, yep. Yep, there we go. We can just get through it. We won't be able to go much further with that one, whereas hopefully with the AEG, we might get a little bit more. What do you reckon? Maybe we're looking at something pretty similar to the Milwaukee. And of course it cuts much more than just branches. This is alkathene pipe, irrigation pipe, and it cuts this nice and leaves a good finish. And hopefully it's recyclable. This is an odd size bit of pipe that doesn't really fit on anything anymore. Works a treat. Now the Milwaukee we can set with the button here to a smaller cut size here. So we now trigger it, not opening as far. So you're just doing a lot of small stuff. Instead of having to have the blade come all the way back every time, it can just nice and quick and simple. Whereas these two are all or nothing. Nothing at the moment. Oh, come on, wake up. There we go. Oh no, this one's gone to sleep. Speed test. I'll start cutting first with the Ryobi, then the AEG. So as you saw, I started the AEG halfway through, the Ryobi going down, and I think the AEG still won. So she's pretty slow. Well, I tell you, one of these stands out to me. Can you guess which one? This is, even though they've put the battery on a different angle to try and change the ergonomics, still a really uncomfortable large handle. even the Ryobi's got a nicer grip, and their battery goes directly into the handle. It's, yeah, the Milwaukee, it's not a comfortable unit. Oh man, but at least it's not slow. Oh, it's painful. It's just so slow. Bam, that's what you want. Look at the speed of this puppy. So as you've seen, the Milwaukee a bit different to the other two. We've got that control panel so that you can turn it on and off without having to hold your finger on the trigger, which is really annoying on the other two because they turn off way too quickly. And we've got the mode button there for the two different sizes. You've got the controllable blade, and we've got a nice little cover here that fits on when the blade is closed or when the blade is open, which is kind of cool. The other two came with a clear plastic flimsy piece of junk that I think I threw in the bin. The Milwaukee has a wrist strap as well, nice big wide adjustable strap there, but it is very heavy and not that comfortable to use, and you've got that extra safety trigger that you always have to have down before you pull the trigger, which you don't have with these two. So which one would you buy? Well, I think this one's a bit slow, bit underpowered, and can't cut as big a diameter as the others. This one and this one pretty pricey compared to the Ryobi, but you'll get a lot more work done with them than the Ryobi, a lot quicker. But if I had to pick only one, for comfort, style, the whole lot, ease of use, you know, power, I think that's the winner. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, remember you can subscribe, hit that like button, that'll help me make more videos and get these videos out to more people. And check out some of these videos here on the screen if you want to see some more TTI comparisons. Cheers guys.